96.7 KCAL Rocks. Always look forward to this. It is that time to talk a little bit of sports with our guy, Pep. What's up, Pep?
I tweeted this out yesterday, but it's probably worth repeating. If you are from the Inland Empire, if you're from Riverside County or San Bernardino County and you play sports and you've got big, big dreams, just look to the pride of Carter High School, Kenny Clark, man. Dreams can happen if you put in the work. It can happen for anyone from the IE. Kenny Clark from Carter High School in Rialto with an extension from the Green Bay Packers worth $70 million, guys.
Wow. Good for you, Kenny Clark. I mean, there's just a part of me that felt so happy for him because you know how much work he's put in. And he's obviously a badass and he deserves it, but it's nice to see it pay off for a good dude.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who still comes back here to the area. He does football camps here. He's coming to the station, taking pictures with us and talking about the football camps. A great guy and just the perfect person you want representing your local area in the NFL.
I love it, Pep. I ran to my oldest boy, Kyle, to tell him, dude, he made $70 million because he worked hard.
He is now the highest paid nose tackle in the NFL. I mean, that's
good for you. Yes.
He is a beast.
Unbelievable, yeah. So NFL camps are underway, across the league right now, and teams are going to start rolling out like the full team, full pad practices very, very soon as we get closer to that first NFL games of the season. And remember, no preseason games, so it's going to be like all training camp leading up to the season.
Dude, a veteran's dream.
Which just means, get ready to bet a lot of unders in that first week of football.
Yeah,
take it. A lot of sloppy. NFL's not going to be the best NFL for the first 1 or 2 weeks, but it will be football.
You're so right, because you find out how skillful this freaking sport is when they don't have that practice.
I mean, players are rusty coming off of a normal offseason into a training camp, let alone a COVID offseason. It's going to be interesting.
Yes, you're exactly right. Those first 2 games or so, or maybe 3, if you're playing, I don't know, if you're playing one of your big-time rivals or opponents, probably not who you want to see early on in the season, but it is what it is. I mean, they're going to be on the same playing field as well. They're going to have the same build-up to the season with no preseason games as well.
Don't be surprised if you have that Cinderella team that had a bad start this year and then figures it out and gets it together. That's probably going to be the story for a lot of teams.
You're right, and don't be surprised if 40 travels down to Cowboy Stadium.
Ooh, it might be the only place I get to see my Eagles. Yeah, it might be the only spot I get a chance to.
Yeah.
It might be the only place in the world to watch football is in Dallas.
Bubble at Jerry World.
Yeah, Jerry Jones wants fans. We'll see if Jerry Jones gets fans in Dallas for this upcoming season.
Would they let an Eagle fan into that stadium? I don't know.
Got to.
We do have a little bit of college football news, a little NBA and baseball as well. It's brought to you by Matheson Gas, the gas professional. So refill that propane tank today. Make sure you got that barbecue ready to go. I know it's hot out there, but we're still hanging out in the backyard. We're still grilling. So get that propane at Matheson Gas, the gas professionals. Cooling supplies, welding supplies, but always number one in the gas game. That is Matheson Gas in Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, and Riverside. And you can check them out anytime online at MathesonGas.com. That's Matheson Gas, the gas professional. So as we transition from the NFL to college football, the SEC says they will announce their full schedule later today. And in fact, yesterday on Sunday, I had a chance to talk to Jeremiah Martin. He's a Cajon High School product. He is a defensive end at Texas A&M University, and he's one of the guys, outside of, let's say, the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, who is actually practicing right now. They're getting ready for that first game. They don't know who that first game is going to be against, but they do know in the SEC they are playing this fall.
Wow. It's just so weird to see the stark contrast of the SEC as compared to the Pac-12.
And I mean, it's good football. Those are a lot of the really big teams. But unfortunately, we do know our West Coast teams won't be a part of it. But it seems like the college football we will get will at least be big programs.
You know what this kind of proves is these big college programs like the SEC, they really look at themselves like an NFL team. Right. So they're thinking like an NFL team. To where the colleges, they're thinking more like a college.
Right.
So we're kind of finding out that these schools are kind of football schools that are doing a little schooling on the side hustle.
Yeah. And here's one other side note, too, that kind of makes this even more bizarre is, the Big Ten, Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields is trying to petition to get the Big Ten to, resume football immediately. And what's strange here is the Big Ten commissioner, his son is I think he's a defensive lineman or tight end or something like that. Anyways, he plays at Mississippi State.
Oh.
He plays so his own son is going to play football this fall, but he told the schools in the Big Ten that they cannot.
That's a rough look.
And see, I think the Big Ten was moving forward and they were going to go along with the SEC, but there was a quick reversal by the guy you just talked about, Pep, and there's a lot of speculation as to why that happened.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird fall. It's going to be a weird spring. I mean, do we have a whole fall football season with a national championship, and then in the spring we've got just games popping up here and there for the sake of having games? I don't know. I don't know what the next 8-9 months are going to look like. It's going to be weird.
I mean, speaking of weird, here we are mid-August, and NBA playoffs are just about to tip off.
I know.
Dude, that's another great point, 40. Like, this is going to be the weirdest year ever. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this doesn't repeat. But yeah, we've got the NBA playoffs starting tonight, which this should be the offseason. The NBA finals should be in, first, second week of June. Yeah. Like, it should be long gone. But we've got Clippers versus Mavericks, game 1 of their playoff series tonight. And then tomorrow night, I don't think the Lakers wanted them, but they got them. It's going to be Lakers versus Blazers, Tuesday night, game 1.
40, is it Dame time?
I mean, it has been Dame time the last week or so, ever since Patrick Beverley of the Clippers thought they eliminated them out of the playoffs and started talking a little crap, woke Damian Lillard up. He has been on fire, scoring 50, 60 points nonstop. And it's really just going to be can Damian Lillard actually put a whole team on his back and get over a guy like LeBron who has done that himself?
Pep, 40 thinks that he's going to get gassed.
He might, man. How long can you do this? Really, how long? I mean, but again, it's a short sprint. We're in the playoffs now. It's not a full season. Can't he do it through the playoffs? And on the flip side, I mean, Dame in Portland's been great. The Lakers they've looked sluggish in the bubble, man. They've been sleepwalking through this restart.
Playoff LeBron is a whole nother level. He is now engaged in playoff mode. Mecca LeBron is coming.
Yeah, we'll see how fast.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. LeBron playoff mode is he's a different cat. So we'll see. We'll see if he can just flips that switch and can carry his team.
Smart enough to save his energy now. He knows when he has to exert it.
The whole state of Florida needs to watch out. This is the last day you are safe from pre-playoff LeBron. Once it goes in tomorrow, you cannot be safe.
Nobody's safe. And finally, from the Diamond, the Dodgers completed the sweep of the Angels, and it's really a tale of two teams here because the Dodgers, National League best record at 16 wins and just 7 losses. The Halos right now, not even in playoff contention. In fact, Major League Baseball expanded the playoffs. They're going to let 16 teams into the playoffs. The Halos aren't even one of those 16 teams right now.
Pep, even 40, who is admittedly not a huge baseball guy, can say the same thing that they say about the Angels every year. Mike Trout is playing great, and the team's losing.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you're saying the Dodgers are one of the league's best teams. The Angels are struggling when they shouldn't be. How is this different for the last few years?
It's not.
It's always what I'm hearing about those two teams.
Even 40, who's not a baseball guy, can accurately.
I can follow that trend. It's the same.
He can depict it to the T.
You guys are dead on. Even in this most bizarre season of all time, history repeats itself. It's the same exact thing right now between the Dodgers and the Angels.
They are who we thought they were.
You got to come out and get your stuff.
It's Inland Sports all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We've got the YouTube channel as well. We'll have more with Jeremiah Martin, the Cajon High School product at Texas A&M, getting ready for SEC football. It's big time.
Wow.
Thanks, Pat.